There's a terrible group of people roaming our streets. Oh, they're terrible altogether. Terrible isn't a word, Ted. In fact, they're more terrible than terrible. And they're not just on your street. They're even in your homes and at work. You can't get away from them. Oh, the far right are terrible. Sure, didn't I see it in the RTE News app this morning, telling me some study confirmed how terrible they are? Well, in that case, it must be true. I mean, if RTE said it, then who can argue with that? Sure, aren't they the gold standard when it comes to information about the far right? Thank God the government gave them 725 million to get all that information out there. Otherwise, we'd all be in the dark and wouldn't know that the far right exists at all. I've never met any of this nefarious group myself, but I hear that they're everywhere and they're a little bit disagreeable. They're telling people that Ireland is full and that it belongs to the Irish. Sure, how could Ireland be full if you only have to wait 20 hours for attention at an A&E and it takes forever to find a place to rent? Sure, Ireland belongs to everyone. That's why you don't need a passport to get in, and once you're in, no one is going to kick you out again. I went out one day looking for the far right, but I couldn't find them anywhere. It's like they all went into hiding or disappeared somewhere. It's almost like they don't exist at all or can fade into the shadows as soon as you look for them. I kept going from door to door in search of the far right, but all I could find was people from Africa, India, and other parts of the world. They didn't know where the far right was either, and so they checked around their free house to see if they were hiding under the stairs or in the closet, but nothing was found. I was starting to wonder whether RTE was pulling my leg. Sure, it's not as if it's a government mouthpiece. That would be silly to think such a thing. Sure, doesn't that 725 million keep them on the straight and narrow and keeps them from being bought? I mean, they have to feed their children too and pay for their CNN subscriptions. I was at the fuel station recently and others were grumbling about the high cost of diesel and the carbon taxes. 60% taxes and all, I heard. Sure, isn't all that needed to save the planet from the weather and to help out the passportless? What could be wrong with that? It's all for the common good. Those fellas at the fuel station must have been part of the far right. Sure, doesn't the government love its people? And then I was at the supermarket and someone was whining about the high cost of food. Sure, what do you need food for when you have the bread of life on RTE? Maybe my day at the supermarket and the fuel station must have been the far right's day out. The far right are hard to identify. Sometimes they look like pensioners and sometimes like plumbers or builders. They come in all sorts of disguises, I suppose. You'd almost think that they were normal. It's a good job that we have RTE to remind us that Ireland isn't full at all. Sure, we have plenty of space, as long as you're not Irish. And sure, aren't all the Irish down at the pub more concerned about the Premier League than they are about their own culture? Yes, the Irish are a great bunch of lads, a great crack. They don't have time to be worried about whether their country is full or not. Sure, they're only worried about filling up their pint glass. And who would blame them? Sure, doesn't the pub keep them out of harm's way and keep them pacified? We wouldn't want them mixing with the far right or asking questions, would we? If they did, we could just label them the far right too. That wouldn't be long shutting them up.